Okay, let's move into our final sectional. We're going to talk about 1A, sectional 44. You got Southern Wells at Adams Central. You got Tri-Central versus Monroe Central. Obviously, let's talk Southern Wells, Adams Central. 21-0 was what this game was in Week 7 of the regular season. What do you see as being different, or is there anything different about these two teams at this point in the season? Because they seem relatively healthy.
You got to think, can Southern Wells get something going offensively against Adams Central? I think we were kind of surprised that they were shut out against the Flying Jets Week 7. Can they get enough offense going to really be a serious threat to Adams Central? So that's the huge thing. I mean, do you change some things offensively once you do? Do you keep it the same and just try to execute better? I mean, that's the big question for me. Southern Wells offense, can they get consistent success against that Adams Central defense that really shut them down Week 7?
And Adams Central, offensively, you got Hammond back there, quarterback. He's a junior, got 2 years of starting experience at this point under his belt, but they don't throw it a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, he manages the offense, but they don't have to pass. If they're forced to pass, is that a bigger issue? And also, will they have to be forced to pass? I guess that's the biggest question.
At some point in this postseason, and it could be next week against Tri, is they're going to have to pass to win a game. You know, and it may not be this week, but at some point they are going to have to win a game with a big pass play or a couple pass plays or something like that. So that is concerning, I think, going forward if you're an Adams Central fan, is can you get it done later in the playoffs? But I don't think it's going to matter Friday.
But like we talked about with Garrett, they have a running back in Hunter Bates. He's over 1,400 yards already this season. The offense kind of keys off him.
Yeah.
How big of a game does he have to make sure things go well offensively for Adams Central in a game that's going to be a rivalry game?
Yeah, I think you just keep doing what he's doing. It seems like every week he's putting up big numbers for Adams Central, you know. So, I mean, you mentioned it. That offense really keys on him. And, you know, when he puts them in second and shorts and third and short situations, it just allows them to do a lot more things than having to sit there third and long and stuff like that. So that is the issue, is when they're going to run into a team that slows down that offense and makes them pass. Can they win a game in that situation?
This game kicks off at 7 o'clock in Monroeville. I expect it to be done by 7:45.
Yeah, probably 7:45, 8 o'clock.
You'll want to get there early, and you don't want to blink, because these teams run the football a ton. The clock keeps moving, and they don't turn it over a whole bunch either.
This will be a friendly game for curfews, that's for sure.
That is excellent to know. Final question, what are you most looking forward to about this second week of the postseason?
Well, I think that Concordia-Belmont game is the big one for me, because I hear so much about, well, this conference is better, and these teams can't compete in this conference. Look, we got the first-place team against the 6th-place team that has been ravaged by injuries. If Concordia can win that game, I think you can kind of look at it and say, man, could even New Haven or East Noble compete with those teams, or Leo? We've seen Leo compete with, like, Bishop Luers, right? But maybe we're just taking it, for example, for Belmont. I mean, just the way their style is and the way they play, man, could they compete with a Snyder and DeWinger and a Luers and a Carroll and a Homestead? I just don't know, because that's the big key and big question for me, is see how Concordia looks. Because they looked pretty good last week, but they were playing Norwell. So you really couldn't garner too much from that game.
I'm intrigued mostly to see the rematch games, the Carroll-Homestead rematch and also the Eastside-Woodland rematch, because those teams played not so much Adams Central Southern Wells, because that was Week 7, but you're talking in the other two, you're talking a Week 4 game and a Week 1 game, just to see how teams have progressed and what the changes have been made, and the guys who have started to put the puzzle pieces together for each team. That's intriguing to me, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. We talked so much about, like, Carroll all year with Aiden Smith and just how they looked in the SAC, but Homestead was just kind of the other team that was in the SAC that came in. And now Homestead can try to prove that, hey, we learned a lot too. We got a lot better over the course of the season. They're going to try to knock their rival out of the playoffs. Sectional championship Friday. And
I looked at Drew Casey's stats over the weekend. They were way more ridiculous than I even thought. So.
Remember when we were wondering in the preseason if who was going to be quarterback for Homestead?
Garrett Drysdale or
next year, let's just remember, I mean, Drew's only a junior, right?
Yep.
So he'll be back. So in 2 years, let's remember when we're talking about who's the next Homestead quarterback, just assume he's going to be good.
Yes.
Because that's just what happens.
That's what happened. Logan Laughlin, Matt Skronik, I mean, all the guys. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Plug them in. Logan Ormsby, everybody. Yeah. Everybody's good.
You know.
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Inside the Zone. He's Justin, I'm Glenn, and we'll be back next week as we talk about sectional championships games here on Inside the Zone.